Well, looks like we're getting a bit of that Destiny 2 Warmind action a little bit early. What's going on, Guardians? TBL here, and we've actually got a teaser trailer ahead of tomorrow's full trailer for the reveal of Destiny 2 DLC Pack 2 Warmind. This dropped a little bit earlier today, kind of right after I finished that previous video. It shows off a bunch of new things, a new game mode it looks like we're getting in PvE, and of course the world space of Mars that we'll be exploring for this DLC. You don't need to listen to me rattle on about it, we're gonna play the full trailer right here. So let's check out the teaser trailer for Destiny 2 Warmind. So there we go, and right off the bat, they basically throw a returning classic from Destiny 1 into our faces. The Suros Regime is back. That legendary, most legendary of exotic auto rifles from way back in Destiny 1 is returning with Destiny 2 Warmind. I gotta say, I'm kind of excited about that. Suros Regime, of course, had that very special ability where aiming down sights slowed down the rate of fire, increased the damage per shot. It's going to be interesting to see if it still has that same ability in Destiny 2. Of course, the gun also healed you and dealt more damage the closer the magazine got to being empty. It was a very unique gun, very powerful in year one of Destiny 1 before all of the nerfs kind of took it away and took it back to a background spot later on in Destiny's history. But I'm very excited to see it come back. After that, we get to explore the Mars Hellas Basin, which seems to be a new explorable zone from Mars. Now, it's not exactly clear whether or not we're going to be going back to any of the Mars patrol zones from Destiny 1. There was a previous leak that came out a while back of data files that were mined from the PC version of the game that did hint at us going back to old patrol zones, but there's no hint for that here. So it looks like we might be exploring a brand new part of Mars that may not be on the polar caps, as we previously thought would be the case with Mars being covered in ice and whatnot. And of course, here we get to see some new locales showing off the Warmind facility, and of course, the returning Hive. Now, what the Hive are doing on Mars, I don't know. All I know is I don't like it. But it looks like we're going to be getting a new kind of PvE game mode surrounding the Hive. They go on to show that off next, calling it the Hive Escalation Protocol and saying that we're going to have to survive it. Now, this could be something similar to a horde mode, like what we had with the Prison of Elders and of course later on in Rise of Iron, with the Archon's Forge. If you guys remember back in Rise of Iron, I loved the Archon's Forge. It had its own weapons and armor tied to it. It had unique rewards. It was fun. It was a really great place to just kind of go and farm up enemies really quickly. And it looks like the Hive Escalation Protocol might be something like that. Now, of course, we have no confirmation that it's going to be a survival game mode. We're going to be learning more about it in the live stream tomorrow. But it does look at the very least like the Hive in some of these scenes have gone through quite the icy transformation. You'll notice with the Thralls and the Acolytes and the Ogre that show up, they've kind of got an icy tone to them, which you really get a great look at, especially in that final scene where that hunter is slamming what looks like just a giant spear into the ground. Which, by the way, not quite sure what that is. It could certainly be a new exotic. It comes after they bring up the splash screen talking about exotic weapon and crucible changes, or it could be the return of a relic, very similar to the axe in Rise of Iron, the swords of Crota, and of course the Aegis shield from the Vault of Glass. Personally, when it comes to that, my opinion is that it's probably going to be the latter. It's probably going to be something like the flaming axe we got for public events and stuff like that in Rise of Iron, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But there we go, that is it for the teaser for the Twitch reveal stream that's happening tomorrow, April 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And there's some really interesting stuff in there. Of course, we've got the Ice Hive, we've got the new area, the Hellas Basin, still hoping that we're going to be getting some of those old patrol zones back. The Hive Escalation Protocol, which looks like it might be kind of a firefight or maybe a horde mode, kind of survival mode sort of thing like what we had back in Destiny 1, in a way, shape, or form with Prison of Elders and again the Archon's Forge. For that game mode, we actually got to see one of the objectives, and it was simply to clear the Hive before time expires. So it does look like it's going to be a separate game mode rather than just being part of a strike or something. I'm hoping so. We need a horde mode in Destiny 2. And of course, we get a couple of clips of some new armor and weapons like that new rocket launcher, and of course the armor that Titan was wearing. Very Warmind themed, kind of like the old Wrath of the Machine set from Rise of Iron. I was always super fond of that kind of Siva-based armor set. But that's the trailer, and hopefully we'll be learning a lot more in the live stream tomorrow. Cannot wait to see what they're going to be showing off. Now, it's not the only bit of news we had come out today. We also got a nice clip of finally the next exotic weapon they want to show off the changes for in Update 1.2.0, the Tractor Cannon. Yeah, it's time, baby. This was posted on the Bungie Twitter account not too long ago. The tweet they posted up says, "Amplify the Void," and this is the video that went along with it. So yeah, your tractor cannon looking a little bit different there. Now, they didn't give us a full explanation for what the tractor cannon does. I expect that we'll be learning about that later on this week, maybe even as early as tomorrow. But based on what the tweet itself said and the video, it looks like hitting enemies with the tractor cannon now puts a debuff on them that increases the amount of void damage they take. As you can see there, once they shoot Brachus with the tractor cannon, he starts to glow purple a little bit, and then they hit him with the Nova Bomb and some other void weapons, and all of that is dealing bonus damage. You see the yellow crit numbers. So it kind of looks like the tractor cannon's going to be a new bit of a support weapon, kind of like, if you're a Sunbreaker Titan, a portable hammer strike that you can use to hit enemies with, make sure that they take more damage from this specific source, again void, and then you can just blast them with all of the void weapons in your inventory or void abilities that you have to deal bonus damage. And I've got to say, that's not exactly what I was envisioning for the tractor cannon, but if this is basically hammer strike in my pocket that I can use whenever I want, this is going to be fantastic for burning down bosses. It looks like the debuff itself, of course the scientific method perk, lasts for about 5 seconds. So you have to coordinate your team's void strikes within that time frame, but I'd imagine there's not too much of a cooldown before you can just reactivate it by tractor cannoning the enemy again. But still, that's a pretty cool change for a tractor cannon that makes it a great support weapon. Now we're going to have to see how exactly that's going to work in PvP. The 1-2 combinations with void nades is going to be nasty. But alright Guardians, that is pretty much it. Some exciting stuff coming, and hopefully some good stuff coming on tomorrow's live stream. But there we go. What did you all think of the teaser trailer? Are you psyched to see that not only are we getting classics like the Suros Regime back, it also seems like we may be getting a brand new game mode. What are your thoughts on the tractor cannon changes? Be sure to leave me all of that down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the news we're putting out. I'm going to be covering absolutely everything that we learn from the Destiny 2 Warmind live stream tomorrow, so make sure you're tuning in for that. But alright, that's it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I'm the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.